Welcome back to my channel, Gemini, both to my new subscribers and my current subscribers. Always appreciated. Much love and thank you to all those that follow. Please remember these are general readings. Only take what resonates. If this reading doesn't speak to you, please check back in the next month, and always allow for some flexibility on the time frames as you're all at different stages along the journey. So this is a reading for May 2021 for Gemini, general energy for the month. And the decks that I'll be using are the Steampunk Tarot by John and Caitlin Matthews, and the Energy Oracle cards by Sandra Ann Taylor, as well as the Rider-Waite deck. And I'm sorry I don't have the creators of that deck handy, but I'm sure I've repeated it in other readings anyway. Okay, so just going to jump right in here. So the month overall looks pretty good, but there is a sense of some kind of indecision here, or looks to be a little imbalanced on some front, with a lot of back and forth energy. So I did feel there was something new coming in for you this month, likely in reference to a job or an opportunity, possibly even two. But it could even be, as I say, a couple of options or one job and then something else that looks to be an opportunity that you'll be able to follow up with. But either or, I see that there's some entrepreneurial or creative projects that some of you are working on, and it does look as though you have come to some kind of fork in the road. As I said, there's some kind of indecision here about something that might cause you some kind of challenge this month that impacts your creative project or just causes some kind of overall delay. So, I mean, there is also energy around family and meaningful connections to you that speaks to, you being well supported this month. And certainly there is a celebration that's taking place. There's definitely some kind of tower moment, or as I said, something that's just throwing you off creatively, where there's some kind of a delay, but it does feel like it's an important delay. That's how I would frame it. So, what I mean by that is, the energy around your creative projects are delayed, but it's because you're being redirected. So by delaying something, it feels like you need to address it because it seems to center around this new direction and you need to take, because by redirecting your efforts creatively, it somehow aligns you better by putting off something, maybe financially that you're paying for, and you're just applying it elsewhere. So it is causing some kind of delay to the creative pursuit, but ultimately it's required. So your money feels to be maintaining pretty much the status quo, I would say, for this month, versus previous months. And there might be a little extra coming in from some kind of alternative source, but it just feels as though whatever additional monies you are making in this month, it feels like there's some kind of additional expense that crops up that causes you to lose what was gained in order to pay for it. So, I mean, I'll clarify the cards and get more into the messages as we move further into the cards here, but there is likely some kind of surprise element here that I feel is coming in for you. Okay, so the first card out is the Moon Voyage card, which is a repeating card in your reading this month. As I was shuffling through the decks, there were a few cards that did fall out, although I did put them back in, but the Moon card was also one of them that kind of kept repeating. So this particular deck identifies this card as the space of creation, basically. So it's where you form your ideas that are based on intuitive prompts, and it generally speaks to having a strong power to visualize and enhance your dreams and your imagination, following some kind of introspective period. So there's a lot of flux energy, likely at the beginning of the month. It just feels like, that you're feeling uncertain of yourself, or some kind of, you're stymied about your idea or your project, not sure how to expand something or build something and go forward with it. But however that resonates for you, it just feels like there's some kind of something that you're just not able to expand on in the earlier period here of May. But as I say, the card itself is exploring unknown and untapped territory. So I feel for many of you, there might be some element of being confused about where to go next, as I said, with that creative project or that undertaking, that idea, or even whether or not to take a job opportunity, because I did see that there would be at least a couple of options in there. One really speaks very more pronounced as an opportunity, a job being offered to you. The other feels like you're either creating your own opportunity outside of this creative project, but there's just something else with that second opportunity that just seems a little more along the lines of your own creation. But either way, there seems to be some kind of hesitation or a pause, as I mentioned. For a few, there was some kind of gift from the universe as well that's coming in here, or some new avenue is being presented, as I mentioned. Likely again around a job for those that have put out the resumes and are looking. And then for others, you're creating some kind of opportunity for yourself independently. But either way, there is a lot of indecision about something that is going to pose a delay from your and take you away from your creative pursuit here. But there's definitely a lot of creative energy coming in for the month of May. It seems to get interrupted in some way, as I said. But again, it's a necessary interruption because Spirit is putting up this obstacle to slow you down deliberately. And it's to get you to think about something, about the way your creative pursuit is being expressed, and it's redirecting you. So I suspect the hesitation has to do with, where you're putting your money. So again, some new kind of expense or surprise element that comes in and somehow impedes or hinders your focus, but it's necessary. And as I said, your focus is taken away from your creative pursuit intentionally to slow you down, to get you to work with another element. So to find another angle or to get you to find a new direction, which will inevitably line up with something, for you in the future that is more aligned with what you need to be doing. But just know that you're bringing something forward that requires this energy, because it is in the spaces between our ideas, where you will be finding your solutions, your answers this month. So I wouldn't be too hard on yourself if you do deviate away from a fixed idea or your original concept or your intention, because it seems as though your confusion allows you to find another option that you hadn't considered. But again, that was a necessary part of the broader scope of things. So you need to work through this gray area to capture the essence of this new direction, in other words, as I mentioned. But if there was some kind of setback, meaning a bill, coming up to maybe take money away that you need to put into this project, just know that this was a deliberate move to redirect you to the alternative path or way of thinking, however that applies in your situation. But certainly pay attention to, any gut feelings or dreams or alternate viewpoints, things that cause you mental confusion, or things where you have to question and go deeper to really reveal like these broader concepts or landscapes for anything creative at this time. So whether that's building something up or finding a clearer direction for something to expand or move beyond fantasy, it's more of a go with the flow energy and being open to receive guidance. So it's the ebb and the flow of creative things to reveal those nuggets of truth or take you to new, broader ranges of sensation and understanding that'll really help you to express yourself and let something emerge here. So, because this is of significance to your journey moving forward, just know that the delay shouldn't be, you shouldn't rush through that delay. Because as I said, I feel many of you are taking the time to sit back with your ideas this month and allow things to manifest or percolate in silence. I'm not saying you're going to be a complete loner in the month of May, but I do feel there's more of a sitting back, a period of withdrawal where you're just doing some internal work. There's a little more solitude, where you're going to be able to process, this I don't want to call it shadow work necessarily, because I don't know that that's really what it is, but I just feel that you need to be in your head, to work through the possibilities and explore and concentrate on matters that you're trying to develop and make relevant in the world, and certainly tuning into your intuition to enhance and mature your plans. So, for some of you, you may also be taking advice from someone older and wiser, or receiving some help on some front with regards to your work or your creative pursuits. I feel whatever you're working on is quite original, and it's important not to rush this process. Concentrate, be still, reflect, wait for something to appear to guide you to the next step or enhance an existing idea in a new way. And as I mentioned, there's some kind of a delay, but not only is there a delay, I feel that you're going to be required again to sacrifice something. So, in terms of time or money, but it feels more monetary. Like I said, more of an unexpected expense for many of you. So, I just feel that that sacrifice is required of you to slow things down. You're going to have to put something off that you didn't want to, but Spirit is guiding you in this direction for a reason, as I mentioned earlier. So have faith and trust the process. Something must be slowed down, and it involves the universe synchronizing elements for you, down the road. And this is why you're having to possibly, as I say, put money in another direction that you didn't intend to, for some of you anyway. And then there is some kind of change overall, a shift in your perspective that's necessary, some kind of sacrifice that needs to be made, where you just also need to keep your wits about you, stay calm, and deal with whatever inconvenience is coming in this month. I don't feel like it's a really large situation. Um, it just feels like it's something you probably had to deal with before, with, maybe a bill that routinely comes in, seems a little bigger than what it normally would have been. It feels like it's something that's part of the mundane, routine, regular, you know, um, mainstream kind of bill or mainstream kind of situation. It doesn't feel like something that's coming way out of left field. So overall, again, it's temporary delay, but it's to slow things down deliberately and just to stay calm, deal with whatever this inconvenience is that's coming in for this month. So for others, you're temporarily feeling stuck. You're not fully understanding something because it hasn't been revealed to you yet. But remember that a slow down in the process does not mean that you're not committed to your intention, only that this period is getting you to focus on the essentials, and they cannot be put off this month. But there is wisdom to be gained in whatever hardship, although again, I'm not saying it's a hardship necessarily. It feels like it's more of an inconvenience that you will experience this month, but you're going to gain some kind of insight once you sacrifice something this month, and it will be then revealed why it was necessary for you to make this sacrifice. Inevitably, it will align you with your destiny, so you're still on track here. So the next card out is the Six of, oh, actually, sorry, I'm going to shine my little light on it here. I've got them a little out of order here, but it should be the Six of Submersibles. Okay, so this card is just a card of reflection. It's much like the Six of Cups for, where you're reflecting. There's a lot of nostalgia, rethinking about the past. Some of you might actually be stuck in the past with this card and that stuck energy, but for others, it's just a period of reflection, or looking at issues that might have been around family, things around, they're just all in your head at this time. But either way, there's some other cards that fell out regarding a child, just for some of you, or a younger person for some of you, where there is some movement or travel indicated, or a thought to a child, and perhaps someone moving away, which might be posing some issues for some of you by removing your focus from one project to allow for another significant area of your life to be dealt with. So again, for others, you may be stuck in the past, and as this is a birthday month for you, I feel that you're looking over the course of your life and just remembering significant moments that, bring you both joy and a degree of sadness, with that follow-up clarifying cards of, and I guess, again, because I had them a little out of order, I'm going to have to shift this one out. but it was clarified with the devil energy here. So this is where I feel like we're dealing with the younger person here, because we've got the Knight of Wands and we also have the Page of Cups. It could represent good news, but I feel for a lot of you, even with the Knight energy, very slow moving, but somebody that you could be dealing with that has a real practical, hard work ethic, very, likes a lot of organized behavior and structure, that kind of thing. So it feels like we're talking about a couple of different people here, but again, with the Six of Cups following, there is a lot of reflection here, and it's still being clarified with the devil energy. So it just feels like there's a lot of emotion being dealt with in the month of May. I feel like a lot of you aren't really expressing it overtly, but you're feeling it internally. So again, for those that are feeling a little more stuck in the past, and again, because it's a birthday month for you, that might be part of the reason that you're reminiscing. But it just feels with that devil energy that some of you may be even hiding your emotions or hiding something this month from others. You're just not expressing yourself or your real concerns as clearly as you might have in the past. But either way, there's an expression of something that needs to come forward here with that Ace of Swords. So I definitely see you going inward during this month. And of course, that's followed up as well with the Hermit card. So definitely being led, guided by spirit to be able to, come to some resolutions here. But I feel you are detached and you're, again, trying to figure out something that's missing, or that, you can be feeling more alone during this month as well. Despite your support system, I still feel that you feel a little more detached from things this month. But you seem to be really thinking a lot about your connections, though. Okay, so again, just kind of reflecting back here with the Knight of Wands. I'll just bring them forward here again. I just want to go through that a little bit more. With the Knight of Wands energy here, again, it's the energy of a vibrant, quick-witted person, somebody who's, kind of comparable here to the Navigator of Engines. So same sort of energy. So I feel it's really speaking to the same kind of person here, just two different decks. So someone who generally tends to be outgoing, clever, competitive. This card can represent you or someone around you. It also suggests travel, whether by car, trip, short trip, I suspect, but some kind of journey that may also be, present this month or is being planned, because it's just the energy that comes through on a few different cards here, but it suggests some kind of movement in some way, especially with all the knights coming through. There's a lot of action taking place. So I feel, that there is some kind of travel, as I say. I know there's a lot of restrictions globally at this time. Certainly, certain areas have more freedoms than others, so I suspect the travel is going to be by car or limited, in distance in some way around that. So, but we also have the next card out as the suspension tank. So this card reiterates much of the same. It's trusting the process, you're committed to it, and you're being tested, of course, but you just need to stay the course of your dreams. The sacrifice or the inconvenience that you're having to make this month is going to lead to greater freedom. So what you sacrifice this month will be to a higher principle, and it will make you a role model in someone's eyes. So stay calm. It's a big part of the test this month. So we also have Blossoming Abundance, Sandra Ann Taylor cards, Energy Oracles. And this speaks to a happy time where I feel that you are feeling valued by your connections, you're supported. I feel that you're overall grateful, with your efforts to date. I definitely feel that this month is a creative period for you, especially because there's more than one energy of the threes coming through here. You know, there was a Three of Cups that comes up here, as well as the three with the blossoming abundance. So again, definitely a creative period for you. You're continuing to build your ideas, invest in yourself in purposeful projects that have meaning to you and value. It's a time of unifying, you know, with your support network. You're connecting. You're immersed in change right now, and it's going to bring about new levels of achievement in some area. And again, with the clarifying cards for abundance, we have the Ace of Pentacles. So I feel that there is, again, Ace of Pentacles with the Eight of Pentacles, and then followed up by the Three of Cups. This is really for anybody who is looking for employment. I feel that job opportunity is probably coming in likely in that second week. And for others you're already that are already employed, I feel that you're moving something to new levels. So again, there could be a move for some of you with slight indicators of travel here and with the Ace of Pentacles, but I feel these cards are still minor arcana, so I don't feel that they are big moves on the home front. So in other words, you know, maybe it's a temporary relocation or a short distance move, might even be related around work for some of you. But others may be making their own opportunities here, selling something on the internet or making something by hand, but it really feels like you're learning your craft well with that Eight of Pentacles card. And again, celebration for the month, I suspect, is due to, you know, birthday month for some of you. So just really feels like it's a month of stepping back, really taking stock of your connections and you know, the grand scheme of things, where you sort of see yourself. I just don't feel that you're doing a lot of communication this month necessarily. It just feels like you're just taking stock, a lot more mental energy. So again, could be a move for some of you, slight indicators of travel, Ace of Pentacles. I feel these cards are still minor arcana. So again, I don't feel like it's big shifts. It's just smaller, minor situations for either short distance move or temporary relocation, or, you know, just something that's just taking you further out. But others may be making some of their own opportunities here. As I said, selling something, creating some kind of secondary business, alternative source of income. But really, it feels like you're learning your craft well. In other words, it's apprenticeship for some of you, is that atmosphere where you know, you've done this kind of skill base before, you've done this kind of work before, it's something you're familiar with. It's things that you enjoy to do, I feel, overall. But you're celebrating here nonetheless in the month of May. So there is something that you're receiving that is of value to you. And it's likely, again, around the birthday. That would make some sense. But either way, you're enjoying yourself and these nostalgic moments, and you're surrounded by people who you care about. So we also have rest and rejuvenation, and that pretty much speaks to the same, taking a pause, going within, connecting with spirit, you know, your intuition, and reviewing your life as a whole this month, and you're just taking it easy and rejuvenating. So some of you with the following card here, Door to Romance, may be, you know, may have a new love coming in here. You might be opening the door here to something new altogether. For others of you, this is a rekindling of an old love with the door to romance, or you're just allowing for a new perspective around love, you know, or you're just really passionate about your work. Either way, you're just onto some kind of new beginning in the journey that is, you know, connected to something that you love or that's really close to your values and your heart. So this is a time where you're really contemplating what you have, again, taking stock of the important things that are around you. The next card out is financial constraints. So I do feel that there is some restriction around your finances. Again, because I feel there's some kind of unexpected matter that you have to deal with, you know, some kind of unexpected expense. But you're still building on what matters, investing in yourself, showing up and doing what it takes to move forward. You're celebrating the moments of importance and with those that you care for, you know, in your circle. So as I mentioned, there may be some kind of unexpected expense that you didn't anticipate that may cause a setback this month and a bit of a delay so that you're not focusing on, creative pursuits or things that you really, value. But definitely, um, again, I don't know that I feel it as a hardship, but it just, at the very least, it feels like it's an inconvenience where you're going to have to put off, maybe paying for something around a creative project that, um, but it's an important delay. So remember that, because it is followed up here with, this is the delay card. And again, that's another 3. So lots of creative energy here and with more wands. But it is followed up with the strength card. So again, I feel like you just need to persevere, to get through this, and because it is a necessary delay. So but Spirit is guiding you. As I say, you also have the Queen of Wands here. So I also feel that there's an additional opportunity, as I said, that's coming in. But it just feels there's something different about this one. And I can't really put my finger on it, but it just feels like there's some kind of new idea that's also coming in here. And maybe the two are connected. I'm not sure, but new idea with the Ace of Wands. But there's just something about that second opportunity that seems different from the first. So once it's revealed to you, what it is that this delay or this setback or this expense is, then I feel that you're going to be able to get back on course. You're much more determined again and you're dedicated. And there's just that renewal and sense of pride in taking this leap of faith and getting back into, what it is that you wanted to put out into the world or continue to build on. So again, with the victory card, you're definitely overcoming it or figuring out a way to balance it out. So you're shifting in the direction that you need to. I feel that you're probably figuring it out for this month as well. I feel it's being revealed to you. So, why that delay was important. So again, the shift in your direction was very unexpected, occurring for some of you. The original concept, was or has now been altered, and there's a new plan that's moved into its place for others. But whatever this unexpected concern around financial constraints was that caused a delay around a sacrifice or unexpected situation, you'll manage the situation without issue because you had that 6 of Wands. So that card of victory is to your advantage. So, and again, lots of wands in this reading. So there's lots of energetic potential, things that you're still building on behind the scenes, lots of passion behind your projects or the things that you're involved with, things that you really enjoy to do. And there's a lot of movement with the knights. So even though I don't feel this is overt action, it does feel like it's still action, that things that you're building up in your head here. There's a lot of movement in ways that you will be taking action, if not at the end of May, certainly further into June. So again, further back we had the Knight of Wands, and again, that Knight of Wands can represent someone who's a little aggressive or a risk taker. Definitely it's movement in this new direction, and for others, again, it could be a young person with a lot of the unreliable, impulsive qualities as well. But I suspect that you're dealing with a younger person somehow in the mix here for the month of May, because there's a lot of nostalgic reminiscing around them. And again, there's that delay, something not going as planned, a level of sadness or loss, something, there's just some emotional impact on you here around that. So with the Angel of Love, again, this speaks to loving connections around you at this time, and it's also followed up by the 6 of Cups. So again, more of that nostalgia coming through repeatedly in the decks here. And this is also, again, around your long-term connections. But we also have caring connections. So this also, isn't around deepening those connections. So friendships, partnerships, romantic relationships, or making new connections, just as a whole for those that are single. But it's definitely around deeper relations altogether. And again, with the follow-up card, again, with another victory here, you're overcoming something related around a storm warning. So I do feel there is some issue at hand. Maybe it's something that you're hearing about that is causing a disruption here for you that kind of catches you off guard, but you're still able to figure out a way to work with it. But again, I just feel like the victory card and the storm warning, you've made the connection as well between what it is that you needed to figure out this month that was hidden from you, and you've shifted into this new direction. So you've adapted in some way. You've quickly figured out how to adjust to the situation after having done the withdrawal, reevaluating, persevering, despite this, however it resonates for you as a loss, because that's also followed up with the Five of Pentacles at the very end here. So we've got the Magician. So this is something that you're trying to, use your resources to be able to overcome. And it's happening pretty fast. And certainly, you're juggling your resources here, but again, you're managing. And again, it just feels like it's not a big upheaval. It's something that is part of the routine day-to-day stuff that you deal with. But either way, I feel like you're managing quite well here, even though you've got Four of Cups, pulling back, withdrawing, finding some balance, lots of fours, twos, even though despite this financial loss of some sort. But you've got the man holding a coin. So this is where I feel you're taking control of your finances here. You are acting as an authority. You could, for some of you, it could be representing an authority figure, lawyer, father figure, but either way, it just feels like you're upholding a principled, logical balance between your emotions and your rationale to deal with the situation. So you're not letting your emotions get out of control here. You're really bringing in a level of stability on the emotional front. While you're dealing with this minor upset. So it doesn't feel like it's overwhelming you or that it's anything major that you need to worry about, but it is going to impact you enough that it causes a delay. So it's significant enough that it's noteworthy. And again, that was clarified with the King of Swords. It's in regards to things that are impacting your happiness. And again, there was that indecision, but you're having to make a choice here. And there is a reason to celebrate this month, but you've got indecision here again. And there's some anxiety that follows that one as well. And then you've got the card of battling yourself here with that 5. But again, you're getting back on track with the King of Wands and feeling re-inspired by month's end. So, again, pretty much overall, a fairly balanced month with just an inconvenient, minor everyday issue that you've faced before, but nonetheless, it did cause you some anxiety and concern, and you are still having to deal with it. You're still having to balance out your finances to get through it this month. But again, I just feel like you are being very level-headed about it, and you're really being in control of your emotions and rational this month. So that's what I have for you, Gemini. Happy birthday to those celebrating this month. Keep moving forward and stay safe, and we'll see you in June.